don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Hey guys, we are back for another video. Make sure you all hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever videos are uploaded. Also, make sure you are subscribed by hitting that subscribe button and let me know what you guys think in the comments. So, you guys should know by now that the first episode of Real Housewives of Potomac came on tonight, and I could not wait. That is like my number one show. So we're going to get into the situation with Juan Dixon and Robyn Dixon. Hopefully you guys watched last season. So if you watched last season, you already know that they had stated that they were going to be remarried, and it never happened. And then they decided to pretty much run off. They didn't invite anybody to the wedding, and everybody was like, it really seems like something is going on with their relationship. Well, what ended up happening is we found out that Robyn kept her entire real story off of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and she was actually going through with Juan because he had cheated again. But she decided to keep her story off of the show and lie on Candace Dillard and her husband with Gizelle and just be messy. So she just did not bring her storyline on the show at all. Well, it has all come out, and now she is definitely in the hot seat with regards to this situation with Juan. And the thing that's most interesting is let's talk about what really happened with the cheating incident. So what had came out is that Juan allegedly stayed with a lady at a hotel. But Juan is saying he did not stay with this lady at the hotel. He's saying that she came to the city that he's located in, and somehow she didn't have money to pay for a hotel, and he just helped her out and paid for the hotel. Now that is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard of. But for some reason, Robyn believes it. Now, this is the woman that stays in everybody else's business, but she believes that her man, fiance, or whatever she calls him, paid for another woman's hotel just randomly out the blue. Then there was also the situation with him also being in a nail salon with another lady. Then it was the situation with him at the laundromat with another lady. So a lot of different situations with Juan. So the ladies pretty much put her to the side because she is out here in these streets looking like a damn fool once again because of the stuff that Juan is doing. But the interesting part about this is she never believes anything. And it's like he's telling her, oh, well, that's, my coworker, or all of these different stories. But the fact of the matter is, based on his past, he doesn't seem to protect her at all. Because, I mean, why are you just out in the public with all these different people? And, this just doesn't sound right. So what ended up happening is the ladies pulled her to the side and they wanted to talk about it. Keep in mind, they're on a reality show. They have to talk about these things. And since she kept her entire real story off the show, she's in the hot seat because now she has to face the fire. So in this sit down, obviously, they were talking to Robyn about the situation. Like, Robyn, it's been multiple situations, with Juan and different women. He's being, seen out in the public. And then also the situation with him and the lady in the hotel. And then he just randomly states he wasn't really with her. She basically needed somebody to pay for her hotel. This all sounds stupid. It sounds very stupid. And this is, what he's saying after he's being busted. Well, Robyn is listening, and then, at some point, all the ladies get to kind of give their 2 cents. Gizelle is saying how she was in an unhappy marriage, and her husband, was cheating on her, and she just feels like, Robyn may be in a situation where she's stuck and she doesn't care, and she, basically just wants to make sure that Robyn is really taking care of herself. So this is pretty much Gizelle speaking about, you know, feeling feeling like Robyn just has pretty much given up. And it could be a situation where Robyn and Juan has been together so long that they are probably more friends than they are in a relationship. And what Gizelle was saying was, girl, I don't want you to be stuck and just be in something that you're really not happy in, because she said that it seems like Robyn just didn't care. It just pretty much was like, I'm over it. I'm sick of it. Well, that may be true, because even in conversations with Juan, it just seems like he tells her anything, and it just seems like she doesn't really press him at all. So then the other cast member, and her name is Charisse. So Charisse basically started to, explain to Robyn her situation, and when, her husband was cheating on her, and basically she said, she knew that he was cheating, and she gave him chance after chance after chance. She said, and then ultimately he pretty much just left her. And she was like, wow, I had been in this situation with, this man, and I had been trying to hold our relationship together despite him, doing all the things he had done with, the cheating allegations and everything. And she said, then pretty much he left her. So she said she felt like, she had really wasted so much of her time. So they're just coming to Robyn pretty much as a friend and saying, hey, this is what happened to us. We don't want this to happen to you. So we want to pretty much tell you how this impacted our lives, because we don't want it to happen to you. Then, of course, we all know the situation with Ashley and her cheating old husband, and all of the crazy things that he was doing, with men and with women. And Ashley pretty much, said the same thing. I was with my husband. I ignored a lot of the stuff he was doing, because as most women do, they want to keep the families together. But when there's 2, 3, and 4 different episodes, and he's telling you the same thing, at some point you have to start thinking about yourself, is pretty much what Ashley is saying. Well, at this point, Robyn is getting pretty irritated. And just like how Robyn is, she doesn't really want to hear very much of what they're saying. And she gets extremely, extremely irritated, which is, Robyn is always in everybody else's business. But when she's in the hot seat, she can't take it. So although, she's sitting here and she's listening to what the ladies are saying, at some point she gets very, very irritated. Now, in this particular scene, she's listening and she's basically saying she believes Juan and, the things that he told her. She believes everything that he's saying, but they're simply telling her, girl, why does he have all these different situations all the time? If this, if there's no truth to this, why is it always him with some lady? And she's, Robyn basically said, I'm not going to tell him to basically live his life different. He can hang out with his coworkers and things of this nature. And what they were sharing with her is, so he doesn't care that this is going to impact you negatively. And she was just basically like, well, I don't care. I'm not going to tell him to live his life any different. Where the issue is, he wouldn't listen to her anyway. So then at this point, she's irritated, because now she's like, well, what do you guys want me to do? You want me to tell him to leave? So she's being very she's just not listening. She doesn't want to take responsibility and accountability for anything, because keep in mind, Robyn is always on the other side and she's always doing this to her castmates. But now she's in the hot seat for all of the lies that she has told last season and how she kind of skated through last season without really showing her real life. So now she's very irritated and she's basically asking them, like, what do you guys expect me to do? Well, we expect you to do the same thing that you expect everybody else to do when you guys are lying, trying to come up with fake ass storylines because you don't want to talk about your real life. So now Robyn is in a hot seat and she can't talk about this because she just really doesn't want to share her real life on camera. So at this point, she's getting very irritated, and the episode is pretty much coming to an end at this point. So again, Robyn, and we're not talking about Gizelle, but Robyn and Gizelle are the culprits of this show. They never ever show their true life. So at this point, Robyn is being forced to talk about her real life and why her husband is still cheating on her. And she can't deal with it, is what we're seeing right here. So she can't deal with it. She's feeling extremely uncomfortable. And more so, she doesn't feel like they have the right to even question her. Because keep in mind, she's been on this show forever and she's hardly ever in the hot seat. And that's because she's always pinning things on other people or making sure she keeps her real life off the show. And then she's meddling in everyone else's business. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. What did you think about this particular episode, and especially the situation with Robyn, and basically just not taking accountability for the things that her husband is doing? It's almost at this point as if she is getting irritated with the ladies, but girl, you are on a reality show, so they have to talk about this. This is their job. Just like you collect a check when you were giving Candace a hard time last year, when you were giving Karen a hard time, telling Karen she was cheating on her husband and all of that. Now you're in a hot seat and you cannot deal with the fire. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments with regards to this episode. And also, with regards to Robyn and her fake ass storylines. If you guys watched last season, you know that Robyn lied the entire season. This situation that is being dealt with now is something that happened last season that she did not talk about. In fact, she went on her podcast and said she would talk about it on her Patreon account. So not only did she lie about her storyline, she wanted people to pay her for her to talk about it when she is already on Bravo being paid and she's not providing real authentic story. So y'all let me know again what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You guys have to make sure you're hitting the subscribe button because 90% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So you need to subscribe where it says subscribe. And don't forget to like, share, and I will see you guys in the next video.